My offer this year was actually to work with me for a 90-day sprint. And that 90-day sprint involved not only working with me, but actually flying in to work with me at my home. And to work with not just me, but to work with my team for us to help you with building out some assistance that can work in your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Actually, 6 artificial intelligence based employees that will help you in all the different parts of your business to get your business off and running, to help you build your audience, build your offer, build an event, to have every single part of your business leveraged.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you as always for joining me. Okay, today let's talk about how to make your offers crush in the marketplace. All right, so I'm talking to you about this after us just recently having our event, SSHC Live. If you were at the event, you know about my offer. My offer this year was actually to work with me for a 90-day sprint. And that 90-day sprint involved not only working with me, but actually flying in to work with me at my home. And to work with not just me, but to work with my team for us to help you with building out some assistance that can work in your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Actually, 6 artificial intelligence based employees that will help you in all the different parts of your business to get your business off and running, to help you build your audience, build your offer, build an event, to have every single part of your business leveraged. So that was my offer this year. And people asked me to talk about this because when I presented my offer, I didn't finish presenting it and people started running to the back to pay me a sizable amount of money. And so how do you make your offers do that? And somebody wanted to say, is that just because it's you? And I'm like, no. I was like, because I've had offers to where they've bombed. But I understand a couple things. Number one is I understand my audience. Number two is I understand the offer. And if I understand my audience well, then I can make a really good offer. And if I have a really good offer and I know how to present it properly, then I usually do really well. So that's what I want to do in this podcast episode. I just want to talk about offers and how to present an offer to people. So that your offer actually works and it converts. So I think there's a couple of things that are really important. I think number one is the offer cannot be about Greg Todd. Okay. Now, when I was constructing an offer, I did make it partially about me. But when I was presenting it, I didn't mention anything about me. So let me tell you one of the big things. Like 2023 to 2024 was a very high level of fulfillment year for me, okay? And I knew that going into this year. I'm so focused on longevity, and I want to make sure that I have enough in the tank to be able to be a part of SSHC year over year over year. So I knew that I had to set this up in a way that I could do a lot for people in a very condensed period of time so that I can buy back the rest of my time. Now, I want to use that time to be able to take care of Greg. I want to use that time to be able to take care of my wife, for us to be able to build our marriage. I want to use that time to be able to take care of my kids and to build my relationship with my kids. That's what I wanted to do at the time. If I went on stage and I said, this is what I want for my life, for my wife, for my kids, but people don't care about that. That actually turned people off. But that was in the back of my mind, okay? So I was like, how do I do this and how do I help people? What are the things that I'm the best at that I can do in a shortened period of time and it be a win for the people and a win for me, okay? And so when you have to think that way, I want you to understand a couple of things. Number one, first thing you need to understand with the offer is with an offer, you have to think of the audience first and think of what your audience values. Now, if you don't know that, you're screwed. What does your audience value over everything else, okay? And so I understand that it's not what I value, it's what my audience perceives is valuable to them, okay? So that's the first thing. Audience first. Number two, if you're watching me on YouTube, you'll see that I have my hands really wide, okay? Like the YMCA. This is where value needs to be. I'm going to have my hands really close together. This is where price needs to be. If value is all the way out here, my hands wide, price is here, the people will buy it. But remember this, it's perceived value to them. So if they perceive the value as all the way out here, my hands open, they see the price as all the way here with my hands really close to each other, they will buy, okay? And that's what happened. So the way that the offer was set up was that I was giving them the equivalent of having a team of people that would cost them about $300,000 a year, okay? Right? But if they don't perceive that, and if they don't see having a team as valuable, then they didn't buy. But the people that are like, oh my gosh, that is what it would cost me to have a team, and he's going to help me basically develop that without having to have that cost year over year over year over year over year, okay? If you see that as valuable, really valuable, you bought the offer just because of that. And people told me, they said, just that alone made me buy the offer, okay? All right, number two, I knew that people buy and find what they find valuable is higher levels of certainty. The reality is this, guys, whether I am giving you something free, a free download, or I'm but giving you an offer that somebody, like today, somebody just paid me $100,000 to work with me for a year. That free downloadable thing is basically giving people the same thing that I can give somebody that's paying me $100,000 a year for the year. And that is people come in my world because they're looking for leverage so that they can get freedom. That's really what it is, okay? And they want the freedom for many different reasons. Most people want freedom for choices. Some people want time. Some people want a combination of both. Some people don't even know why they want it. They just want it. But I understand that people pay more money and find more value the more certain you get them towards a thing that they're looking for. So if there's more certainty, they will pay more money for it, okay? That's why people will pay me $100,000. Why? Because they feel like there's more certainty with if they get to work with me privately versus if I just give them a map, if I just give them a guide, if I just let them download a PDF. They want more certainty. So the more certainty you can give your audience, the more valuable your offer is perceived to them because they're like, I can't screw this up, okay? That's a huge thing, right? So I would say those are some of the biggest things that I have had to do in order to get my offers to work. Here's the last thing I would say. It's on how you present your offer, okay? So what I did is when I'm presenting my offer to people, I want to make sure that everyone's really getting it. So I don't know if I've ever seen this taught by anyone, but what I do is I will break down each of the components of this is why I'm offering this. Here's the reason why I'm offering this. Here's how this is going to look and how this is going to work. And then I pause. And I will say, does everybody understand that? Does anybody not understand that? And if they don't, and somebody raises their hand, I will actually stop and make sure that they understand it. And I truly believe that the reason why most people don't crush their offers and do well is because people don't understand what it is that you said. They don't get it. All it takes is for people to understand one component of your offer that they find valuable enough that the value is all the way out here with my hands wide open versus the price that's all the way here. So whether it is $15,000 that I'm charging, if they feel like it's worth $300,000, they're going to buy it. If it is $100,000 I'm charging, but they feel like this is worth $1 million, they're going to buy it. If it is $300,000 I'm charging, but they feel like it's worth $3 million, they're going to buy it. The price has nothing to do with it. It has to do with how much value they see and can they actually see themselves extracting that value and that value actually turning into money for them, okay? So here's a great example I'll give you. I own a Tesla, okay? I actually said this to some of my clients the other day. I was like, if I was to sell you my Tesla today and sell it to you for $10,000, would you buy it? About 80% of the room raised up their hand and said, yeah, I'd buy it. I said, okay, well, what are you going to do with it? Some people had varying things of what they would do with it. I was like, but you got to give me $10,000 for it. You got to give me $10,000 within 48 hours. So I actually asked everybody, hey, who has a $10,000 right now sitting in their bank account? And I don't think anybody had $10,000 sitting in their bank account. But everybody agreed that they can find money. So guys, the money is never the issue. Okay, when you want something really bad, you'll find the money, all right? And if you don't believe me, go look at what you did when you went to PT school. Okay, you'll find the money, all right? If you want it bad enough. The question is it worth it to you? So I started asking people, well, what would you do with the Tesla? And so some people said, I wouldn't even drive the Tesla. I don't really care for Teslas, but I know that I can sell it back for probably at least 30,000, 40,000, maybe 50. So I can make a 3 to 4 extra turn on my money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to ask my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, whatever, hey, you want to come in on this deal with me? Or I'm going to go to the bank and tell them my plan. I'm going to sell it for 4 times the amount so I can pay you this and interest back, and I'll get back all your money and more. You see, you could see the value. You could see it. So guys, you have to be able to position that to your clients. Can they see the value? Can they see it? Is it so clear to them? If I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, I'm going to get all that money back and then some. But if they can't see it, then they won't do it. Isn't it crazy how people have no problem with putting down $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 for education traditionally? Because they can perceive the value. The value for them can be status. Isn't it crazy how people will spend $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 on a house because they can see the value, because it's been trained to us on how to see value in a home. But we can't see it in the thing that you might be offering to the marketplace. You have a responsibility to be able to present it in a way that people can actually see how they can take whatever it is that you are going to give them and how they can utilize it, implement it, and get a return back on their money in the marketplace. That's how you crush an offer. It's dialing in the audience and figuring out what the heck it is that they want. It's making sure that the offer has value so big relative to price being so small. And it's presenting it in a way to where people can see how they're going to be able to extract the value from the offer so that they get their money back and then some. If you do that, your offer will crush. And if you don't, it'll fall flat on its face. Anyways, I hope that helps you guys. I hope that serves you. We'll talk next time.